evening and welcome to Library Science 585. This is literature for young adults. Actually, it's called literature for adolescents, but I have to be truthful. I would prefer it was called literature for young adults because to me, adolescents they have these three P words. It's pimples, problems, and puberty. And also you always hear people talking about adolescent behavior, which has bad connotations. So in terms of my class, we're going to call it literature for young adults. And I'd like to start the session tonight by talking about some of the assignments. Yes, we do have assignments. And one of the first things we're going to talk about is that you will have to do a lot of things where you need some kind of bibliographic citation. So I would suggest using something like Turabian's Manual. Would you zoom in on this, please? Thank you. Turabian's is a manual that you can use. And I'll flip back to this bibliographic information, but here's what the book looks like. This is the 5th edition. This is the newest edition, as far as I know. Some of the older ones would probably work, but if you can get this one, this would be good. If you absolutely don't have access to this, you can use something like Campbell's or the Modern Languages Association one. Any of those would work, but do use a standard bibliographic format when you're doing your assignments. And this is my preference simply because I have it readily available. It was published in 1987, and this is the 5th edition, so just for your information, kind of keep that in mind. I'm going to start out by talking about one of your assignments. It's doing annotations. In this class, you will be expected to read madly. And the sooner you start, the better, because this assignment is due October 29th. So you've got to start right away. And try and think of it this way. You can read a whole YA novel before you go to sleep at night. You can probably read 5 of them in a Saturday. I know you won't get much else done, but you could do it. And it won't take you any time to get through 25. I'm asking for 25 books that you read and you annotate. And your annotations have got to include certain elements. And right now I'd like to talk about what you need to include. If we concentrate on this one, Annie on My Mind, in an annotation, basically you're going to put this list of your 25 in alphabetical order according to author's last name. And you will put author's last name, title, place of publication, publisher, and year. Now, when you get graded on this assignment, you will be graded on the fact that you have done a proper bibliographic citation. And that's why I mentioned Turabians. It's because part of this, the points that you'll be allocated on this assignment will be, 1, did you do a proper bibliographic citation? After that, an annotation is basically just a real quick snapshot of what the book is about. Basically, you're going to be in 1 or 2 sentences telling me what the book's about in terms of plot and setting. And then you're going to have maybe another sentence that tells me something about it in terms of how you felt, a comment about it. Like you might say something about, this hilarious novel was, etc., etc. You have told me that you found the novel hilarious. That's a comment on your part that you thought it was good. The first one I wanted to show you was a book called Annie on My Mind. This is what the book actually looks like. I sit here and watch myself. Now, when I did the annotation for this book, what I said was, Lisa and Annie, 2 New York high school seniors, were attracted to each other from the moment they met. This novel unsentimentally addresses the conflicts, both internal and external, that these young women face in accepting their lesbian relationship. In addition, it is a well-written love story. Okay, hopefully in those 3 sentences. And the other thing is you have to remember is I'm asking you to do this in 3 sentences. I'm not telling you how long your sentences have to be. And believe me, you can get some pretty long sentences. However, I'm asking, in 3, you have to give me the basic plot and setting, which I hopefully have done on this, and a comment about it. I've said that it is unsentimental in treating this relationship, but it's also well-written and a love story. So hopefully that does everything an annotation is supposed to. I've given the bibliographic citation for it, I've given a plot setting, synopsis, and I've given a comment, my comment on the book. So that is my annotation, and that's what I'm asking you to do when you're going out there and reading your 25 novels. And you can always read more if you want, but I only want annotations for 25. And this is what I need in this assignment. I've done some others, and we can go through those too. If you have any questions, let me know. Also remember that although I'm showing you these sample annotations, and they are in your packets, so you can look at them anytime you want to, be aware that you can find them all over the place. You can look at any kind of good bibliographies. A lot of them are annotated. And I will bring some other books to class to show you, which I don't have now, to show you examples of bibliographies that have good annotations in them. Do be aware that a lot of times in annotations that you just see in bibliographies in magazines like Booklist or maybe School Library Journal or VOYA, Voice of Youth Advocates, they may only give you the plot and setting. They may not make any kind of a judgment call on the book. But for our purposes in this class, I am asking you to make a judgment call. I'm hoping that you all choose 25 stellar books and that you love every one you read and that you can really say it was just great or hilarious or well written or all of those things. However, you may end up getting 3/4 of the way through one of them and find out that you really think that it didn't handle the problem or issue well and it isn't well written and it wouldn't be appropriate for a certain age group. In that case, let me know that in that annotation. And we'll only hope that you get the best ones.
Do you want to try walking?
Oh, walking back and forth? Okay. I'll do this. I'll put this over here. I wanted to also just point out that over here I have this table, and on this table we have, yes, it's like, okay, I did this too fast. Let me go this again, and I'll cue you. Which, by the way, what happens if I need a table? Okay. I wanted to let you know that you can find these bibliographies in just lots of different sources. So what I've done tonight is bring you a sample of some materials, both magazines and compiled bibliographies that give good annotations, just if you need to look at some samples. So over here on this table we've got some, and I think I'll just hold a few of these up for you so that you can see what's available, and you can look at them during break or after class. So we'll just go over here. Okay. And blah, 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 and here they are.
Good.
And is this enough?
She wants to stop, I think.